Okay folks, welcome back to the shop again. This morning we're going to do something a little bit different. Not something everybody's going to need or use, but something I think I will probably find somewhat helpful. I call it a push grip. Now there's a lot of reasons to use this, but one of the things I found is that as I'm getting older, and I'm sure many people feel this way, when you get down on your knees to do something on the ground, it's very difficult to get up sometimes. You need that little bit of extra push, a little bit of height. When I get up, I usually use my hand to push myself up, but the old arthritis in the fingers, getting older, and losing strength in my arm and stuff like that, and legs, makes it a little more difficult to get up. So, here we go. What I did was I came up with this push grip. She'll help me. Give me a couple more inches, yeah, more like a half a foot or so, to help me get up off the ground a lot easier. I should be able to clip this onto your belt if you're going outside to work in the garden or working around the yard, or anywhere for that matter. You clip this on, and if you need that little bit of oomph to get you up off the ground, this might actually do it. So, what we're going to do is we're going to cut this out with our scroll saw, as we do everything else. I found a nice piece of oak. I want to make this as sturdy as possible, so I'm going to use a piece of oak to make this work. So let's put that down there first. Put our tape on it, as usual. I messed that one up. This should be helpful with this particular piece of wood because it's a real heavy piece of wood, and we're going to need something to lubricate that blade. I think this will do it. Okay, we got our blank all set. Take our pattern. By the way, if you want this pattern, you can go on my Etsy page and download it, and you get a bunch of other patterns along with it for free. Might actually be able to use them. I'm a great believer in giving away free patterns. If you check all my projects, they all have free patterns available, and all you have to do is buy the initial one. Helps to support my website and this area on YouTube, and turns out to be somewhat useful for anybody. Okay, here we go. Take this, put some glue stick on the back. It's going to be a fairly simple project. Even a beginner can probably handle this. Might want to make it for an elderly person that you know who's having difficulties of this sort. I'm sure I would welcome it if someone were to have done this for me. But here we go. I'll plaster this down on there. This, by the way, is about 4.5 inches wide, and the length is going to be something like about 9 inches. It's going to give you a little bit of extra push if you want to get up off the ground. Also made another one like this with a thinner section if you want to push buttons on a washing machine, for example, or something like that. Sometimes the thumb wears out with arthritis or whatever. Just grip this thing and push your button in, out, whatever way you want to do it. Works pretty nicely. Alright, what I'm going to do is drill a hole for the hand section here, and then we'll drill a hole to cut around the outside too. So I'll meet you over at the scroll saw. Okay folks, here we are at the scroll saw. Going to need a good chunky blade to cut through this wood. This is a real nice thick piece of oak. It's about 3/4 inch thick. So I drilled a hole here up at the top, and one here at the intersection here. I'm going to use that to cut out the grip and the rest of the pattern. Now, put a number 9 blade in. I think that probably will be forceful enough to handle this wood. We want to take the cut slowly though, because we're going to be pushing through this wood. If you push too hard, it's probably going to bend the blade and make a distorted cut. So what we want to try to do is take our time and work our way through here and hope for the best. Here we go. Make sure I got the camera on. Okay. Could be talking to myself here. Okay, we have our little tool carved out here. Looks pretty nice. And what we're going to do is peel off the pattern. If you wanted to be a little fancy with this, you could personalize it if you wanted to. Put a name in here or decorate it up, a little face on here or something like that. But we'll just do the plain old garden variety right now. Now the next thing I want to do is take this over to my router and round over all the edges here, make them nice and smooth. Let's do that. Okay, we're at the router. About a 1/4 inch round over bit here. Gonna raise this up just a little bit. Pretty good there. Now let's give it a try and see how it looks. Good. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Got some nice round edges here now. A little bit of sanding now, make it a little more interesting. Okay, we're over here at the old mop sander. We use this to smooth out the edges completely now. Okay, looks like we've done it pretty nice. Let's give it a demonstration and see if it works. Okay, we're here in the shop. Let's give this a little demonstration now. Here is what I would normally do. You know, I'm down on the floor like this and done something. I'm going to get up. It's a little bit of a struggle. But if you have your little push grip, you have it clipped to your belt here or something, you're down on the ground, you take it off, and you give yourself a good push. And you got yourself a way of raising yourself up quicker than you have before. Now, this might work better for other people. You, of course, have to have some push to begin with in order to make this work. But it certainly is helpful, because if you're down on the ground like this, it's very difficult sometimes to get that leverage that you need. And this tool might help you. Might even want to use two of them. But I'm thinking one ought to be enough to begin with. Okay. Well, there we are. I can paint this. I can, of course, as I said before, you can decorate it in some way if you want to personalize it. Might as well get some joy out of some things. And if you don't want to do that, you can leave it plain. You could give it just a clear spray, maybe even paint it. Possibility. A lot of different things you can do with it. Well, I hope this functions well for you. And you still got to be careful, of course, getting up. Take your time. Work the thing slowly. This isn't going to cure any major problem you might have. And for some people, it might not work at all. Some people, you might actually not use it. But you have to judge it for yourself as to whether or not this will be helpful to you. Now, if you enjoyed this project, as I said, click down on the link below. You can get the pattern for it. A bunch of other patterns to work with for free. If you enjoyed this, click a little thumbs up down there too. It'll help my channel here. And if you haven't subscribed, by all means, go ahead and do that too. Thank you very much for watching.